Today's episode of Let's Talk Anime is brought to you by some guy from Hannibal, Missouri. Okay, trust me on this. It's gonna make sense later in this episode. Welcome to Let's Talk Anime. I'm Derangerous, and let's have ourselves a good old-fashioned existential crisis, shall we? I mean, what is life? Seriously, what is life? How do we know what we're living is our lives? How do we know if we're not living in some kind of massive hologram? What if we're actually plugged up into a machine? What if this is just like a Matrix? What if, for some random reason, we're not actually human, but we're actually robots experiencing some kind of dreamlike state? What if... Okay, it's kind of obvious I need to get out more, and this pandemic really sucks. But I'll tell you what doesn't suck: anime. Today, we're talking about a Hulu anime, but not just any anime that can be found on Hulu. Oh, no. We're talking about one of the best cyberpunk anime that ever existed, okay? We're talking about the one, the only Ghost in the Shell standalone complex. Now, Ghost in the Shell is kind of a big deal, mainly because there are a bunch of different iterations of Ghost in the Shell. You've got Ghost in the Shell, Ghost in the Shell Innocence, Ghost in the Shell Rise, that shitty movie that came out that, you know, we don't like to talk about. Yeah. Now, to understand Ghost in the Shell standalone complex, you gotta understand the creator. And, oh man, I have been wanting to talk about him for a very, very long time. Masamune Shirow, or his real name, Masanori Oda. When it comes to anything sci-fi related, everybody, and I mean almost everybody, turns to Masamune Shirow for that inspiration. Words cannot express how many people he fucking inspired, and it's so amazing because this is the guy who literally wrote the book on how to do a cyberpunk series. Masamune Shirow has made other work. He's done Appleseed, New Dominion Tank Police, and a plethora of erotic art. So with all that together, it's safe to say that Masamune Shirow is a man well versed in culture. So the erotic art part, that's a really funny story. So one thing you gotta know about Ghost in the Shell is that the manga and the anime are extremely different. Case in point, in the Ghost in the Shell manga, there is a splash panel of, what's the best way for me to say this? There's a lesbian orgy splash panel in the manga. Now, I bet you're wondering, why is there a lesbian orgy splash panel in the Ghost in the Shell manga? And that's a very, very, very good question. The answer, in Shirow's words, were, and I quote, "I did not want to draw a guy's butt." But we're not talking about the Ghost in the Shell manga. Oh, no. We're talking about the Ghost in the Shell anime. And because we're talking about the anime, yeah, no perverted shit. So now that we got a good look at the background of Ghost in the Shell, let's talk about the plot. You got the future, where just about everything is run on a network, okay? It's not about the Wi-Fi. It's more than just the Wi-Fi. It's everything. The whole world runs primarily on technology, but in order to keep up, people have to integrate the technology into themselves. God dang it. So what does that mean? Cyborgs. There are multiple types of cybernetic enhancements, or people who go through cyberization processes. The minor can be just a small amount of implants in their brain, helps them connect to the internet, do some actual diving or communicate with each other. And then you got people who go to the whole extreme where they replace their whole body. And then the only thing that's left is basically sometimes nothing. But going full cyborg raises a very important question. Is the person still human? I mean, yeah, cyborg means an integration between mechanical parts and human parts. But are they still considered human? If you cyberize a person's entire brain, are they still human? Or are they just a machine walking around in a human body? The term ghost in the world Ghost in the Shell means soul. So, do these people still have souls? These are questions that are raised in the anime, while also taking on cyber terrorists, hacking, and also a lot of corrupt governments and stuff. You know, some things that happen here in real life. Politics. The question is, what do you do when all this stuff starts to happen? Do you call the police? Do you call the FBI? Or would you rather turn to Section 9? Public Security, Section 9. They are the people you call in to deal with cyber warfare, domestic terrorism, and all that crazy dystopian stuff we're suffering right now in 2020. The best way to describe Section 9 is, imagine if the FBI and the GSG-9 had kids, and that kid was raised by SAS. Thus, Public Security Section 9. The best organization out there to take out domestic terrorism, as well as deal with cyber warfare, as well as information warfare. The members of Section 9 are primarily ex-military. Some actually served in law enforcement, while there's the possibility maybe one of them might have been in the Yakuza. But that's heavily debatable with absolutely no proof. But you know what? Let's roll with it. Let's meet the members of Section 9, shall we? Section 9 is a small organization with one main field group, and that field group is led by the Major. Okay, I know you all dealt with me going on my Satsuki Kiryuin hype, but oh my god, I love the Major! Seriously, Major Motoko Kusanagi, aka the Major, or in some circles, Queen Kong. I know I said Satsuki's badass, but Satsuki is nothing compared to the Major, okay? This lady, okay? This magnificent woman is a freaking titan, okay? She is that one person you don't fuck with, okay? Nobody fucks with the Major. This lady can walk around in skimpy clothes and nobody would do anything to her because they know for a fact that she will fuck them up, okay? She has that beautiful purple hair, that strong commanding voice. She's wise, she's smart, she cares, and oh man, she is just so awesome. Next up, we have Bato. Now, if you're looking at Bato, you might feel a bit of fear because he looks kind of scary. He's a big guy with white hair and with mechanical eyes. But fret not, Bato is one of the most friendliest people in all of Ghost in the Shell. He's a he's somewhat of a jolly guy. I mean, he can be serious, but he can also be playful. He's caring, he is compassionate, and he has a weird hobby of doing some weightlifting. I say it's weird because what's the point of doing weightlifting if you have mechanical arms and legs? Next up, you've got Togusa. Togusa is by far one of the least cyberized people of Section 9. In fact, Togusa never actually served in the military. He's actually a former police detective. He was handpicked by the Major to join Section 9. What he doesn't have with military skills, he makes up for it by having a sharp mind. Togusa was able to crack a multitude of really important cases throughout the series, as well as he's actually the only one with a confirmed family. Although the only downside about Togusa is he can be a bit over emotional, as well as he's old-fashioned. This is what I mean by old-fashioned. So in the world of Ghost in the Shell, you've got advanced technology, advanced weaponry and everything. Togusa uses a Mataba auto revolver, a gun that was discontinued in 2005. You know, because future. Next up we got Saito. He's a sniper, he's got a cool eye, and he can link it up to a satellite and see everything. He can see what you're doing. Seriously, he can literally do that. It's actually a bit creepy sometimes because sometimes when he gets ready to take a shot, he makes his enemies see what he's seeing, so that way they see him seeing him. I mean them. They see stuff. Next up, you've got Ichikawa, Pazu, and Boma. Ichikawa is a nerd who sits behind a computer, loves American comics, and owns a pachinko parlor. Pazu is a jack of all trades, and Boma's there. Okay, fine. He blows shit up, okay? There's not much to those two. I mean, yeah, Ichikawa is awesome, but Pazu and Boma, they're just there. I mean, just watch. And last, but certainly not the least, is Daisuke Aramaki. He's a grumpy old man who runs this shit. Now, one of the main villains in Ghost in the Shell is the Laughing Man. Then again, it's actually heavily debatable if he actually is a villain. You watch it and you tell me. Anyway, he is a cyborg who tends to quote a dead writer from Hannibal, Missouri, Mark Twain. Now, I can give you a multitude of reasons why having a cyber brain is a terrible idea, but instead, I'm going to let this convenient voice here tell you all the reasons why having a cyber brain is not good. Like a medical commercial.
Having a cyber brain is not the world's greatest idea. You're better off being Amish than having a cyber brain. Having a cyber brain can lead to a wide array of symptoms, such as dizziness, swelling, confusion, over emotions, as well as the development of cyber brain sclerosis and closed shell syndrome. You also are opening yourself up to both computer viruses as well as biological viruses, leading to tons of spam being loaded into your head as well as too much porn. Earlier, you heard me mention two different types of diseases associated with cyber brains, closed shell syndrome and cyber brain sclerosis. Closed shell syndrome is what happens when you are too compatible with your cyber brain. As a result, you end up closing yourself off from the rest of the world and enter into a state of cyber brain induced autism. Cyber brain sclerosis is the hardening of brain matter from where the cybernetic implants were placed. There is absolutely no cure for cyber brain sclerosis, well, except there is actually a cure, but the government only knows about that. Instead, you have to sit there and wait for the sweet release of death. Also, another drawback of having a cyber brain is constantly having an existential crisis. Having an existential crisis will most likely result in you questioning, are you even human anymore, due to the fact that most of your brain has metal plating and electronics in it. If you live in the United States of America and wish to obtain cyber brain enhancement surgery, well, you can't. Why? Because we can't have nice things. Case in point, Ghost in the Shell the movie. I mean, come on Hollywood, is it really that hard just to follow the basic plot of an anime series from start to finish? I mean, you don't have to do anything spectacular about it, you just have to follow what the original movie says and then just make a live action movie about it. I mean, seriously, it's not even rocket science. I mean, a 5-year-old can even do that. So help me God, if someone decides to make a live action version of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, I will Muda barrage somebody's ass with my foot till it bleeds. Anyway, I started rambling off. Where was I? Oh yeah, don't do drugs. Oh, and also, don't get a cyber brain. It's kind of stupid, even by anime logic.
Oh, they're done already? Okay, so where was I? Masamune Shiro's work has been a huge inspiration to a lot of American movies. Case in point, the Wachowskis have used his work for The Matrix. James Cameron has said that Masamune Shiro's Ghost in the Shell helped inspire him to do Avatar. The video game, Cyberpunk 2077, has also been said to be inspired by Ghost in the Shell. But like I said, Ghost in the Shell standalone complex provides a whole lot of philosophical thinking. It's not just a series where you go in and start shooting people. It's not just a series with action and dynamic scenes. There's a whole lot of meaning. Once again, what is life? How do we know we're not plugged into a computer? What if we're already plugged into a computer? What if the whole universe is a hologram? Alright, next time I'm gonna have to do a series that doesn't make me think so much. So yeah, that was another fun-filled existential episode of Let's Talk Anime. As usual, I am your host, Dangerous. If you like this episode, remember to like, comment, subscribe. And if you're on YouTube, please hit the bell icon so that way you can get notifications for when we upload new episodes during this fun pandemic. It's not fun. And tune in next time as we will be talking about an anime that can be primarily found on Prime. Prime, primarily. Oh, until then, peace out. There's one more character in the world of Ghost in the Shell standalone complex. Or should I say, characters. The Tachikomas. Tachikomas are basically think tanks. They have military weapons and they are autonomous. And plus they have super kawaii voices. Fucking poster.